Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mouse Cheers. Cheers.
John, how you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited for this one.
John, me too. You
Yeah.
know, I have to say, we decided what we were going to do,
Mhm.
which is different for us because we usually sit on down and we just get going.
Yeah, see, we have a list of topics that we want to get to, and a lot of times we'll just be like, what topic? Of course, some topics need more preparation. Some we could just fly, go on the fly.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, not a terrible amount of prep, but we at least needed to make up a list.
This is, it at least had to be a list. Half flyby, though. Flyby seat pants. Because I got to tell you, it was easier than I thought it was going to be.
FBSP?
FBSP.
Fly-by-seat pants.
Yeah.
Let me ask, how did you make your list?
This is what I did. This is
Mhm.
exactly what I did. I Googled it,
Oh.
and then I think we can say it. It's probably going to be the title of the episode.
Oh, yeah. This is no surprise.
So we're going to, I Googled the Renaissance.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's going to be the big
so
reveal.
for the fans and for the haters,
Especially for the haters.
most particularly for the haters, what's the Renaissance?
The Renaissance started in, I want to say, 92.
That's it. No.
Did it end in 92?
No. Basically,
When was Little Mermaid?
89 or something.
Oh.
88, 89.
It started in 89
Beauty and the
with
Beast
Little
was
Mermaid.
90 or 89 or 90
It was
or 91. I don't know.
It was that stretch of 10 movies, starting with Little Mermaid, ending with Tarzan,
Yes.
that were not only tops for Disney then, debatably tops for Disney now, of all time.
100%.
Hence why they call it the Renaissance.
Yep. So we got different periods. We got like the golden age, which is like the very first few.
That's gold.
You got your wartime era.
That's wartime.
That Then you got your, I believe it's called the is it the Silver Age or the Bronze Age?
Well, we got, so isn't it silver, bronze?
Yeah,
or
some people call it the Dark Age. I
Some
would say
this guy.
I call it bronze because a lot of the Dark Age projects I'm really fond of, like Fox and the Hound and stuff like
absolutely.
good stuff.
Absolutely.
And then you have the Renaissance, and then you have I think they call it the post-Renaissance. Perhaps that's called the Dark Age.
Honestly, let's call it the Dark Age because it should be Chicken Little, Home on the Range.
Come on.
Meet the Robinsons.
I mean, I like Meet the Robinsons.
Well, me
to a
too,
degree,
but still, when you're coming off of the Renaissance.
Yeah. So the post-Renaissance or the Dark Ages, and then you have the most current period, the Revival era, and now we may be coming into a post-Revival era. I don't know. We'll see. So
This is the Dark Ages.
these are all, no. I think nothing has hit the lows of Chicken Little and the like, in my opinion. But we'll definitely do an episode on each of the categories, and maybe one day we're just gonna do this. I mean, we'll rate each category, but maybe one day we'll just go all out and rate all 60 of them.
Oh,
It's a
absolutely.
big old episode.
Big old episode.
Yeah.
Make it either give them an extra content, give them a 3-hour episode, which we know everybody wants.
I
Or
mean, we've
we'll-
almost done it. Yeah.
We've already almost done it, or we split into 2 parts. Who's to say?
Yeah. Who's to say?
John,
Yes.
real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Mm.
Sorry.
No.
Were you a part of the rainstorm today?
Yes.
Dude, John, that was the worst rain I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it was like Florida rain. It was like Florida rain.
Nah, dude, because it was hailing.
Oh.
There was hail. Like, I was worried for my windshield. I was on the highway.
It was hailing?
There was a point in time. It was hailing. I was worried, and it's June. It's June 2nd.
I know.
It was hail. I was worried for my windshield. I came to a complete stop on the highway because it was raining so hard.
I find that when it's hot out, it hails.
You
I
know,
don't get it.
Me and weather, we go together, so I know these things. Hail when it's hot, definitely. It turns to glass, actually. It wasn't hail, it was glass.
Well, why?
Couldn't tell you that
Got
because
it.
me and weather, we don't go together. But let me tell you,
Got
that
it.
was the worst rain I've ever seen in my life.
It was bad, and I was running out to my car getting groceries from the trunk, and I walked in with one set of groceries, and then when I came out, it was like Florida rain, like blinding rain, and my trunk was open. I'm like,
And
should I
you
go out there, or
you didn't feel any hail?
No, there was no hail.
I'm telling
There was
you,
not
John,
hail where I was.
I was
Well, no, I totally
I
believe
was
you.
scared for my windshield.
Sheesh.
I was scared.
Yeah, that was. Did I tell you that the drive home from Florida last time, a pebble popped up and nicked my windshield? Did I tell you that?
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. Like, what?
It's happened to the best of us.
Like it
Happened to
nicked
me.
it. Like there was a crack in it.
Yeah, and you had to fix your
Yeah,
windshield.
yeah.
That sucks.
Like what?
It's happened to me. I was at the Chili's, right?
Oh, yeah,
I
that
was-
happened to you?
Well, kind of. I was at the Chili's. No problems. Went to the Chili's. Went in, ate, come back out. Little nick in the windshield.
What, something like an acorn fall from the tree?
Yeah,
or
I was
something?
under a tree, so I think so.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What the heck?
With the acorn. But yeah, so now I just wanted to. We haven't talked about it, but that rain was crazy.
Yeah, we were actually on a video call during it.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I was talking to you on the phone, but like the rain was so crazy, I was like, "Can you hear me? I can't hear myself."
So we were on a video call with my brother Josh, who was on the infamous Santa Claus episode, Santa Claus trilogy episode, and Paul, who's been on a number of episodes in the past, and Paul. So Paul lives in New Jersey right now. Otherwise, he'd probably be on more episodes, but he'll be coming around soon, as will Joe Fontaine again soon. But my brother Josh were like, come on over. He's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, okay.
And so I was like, "Hey, Josh, it's been a while. Maybe I'll go over. I'll see you." He was like, "Yeah, all right. Text me when you're home. I'll head over." He was like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
He gets home. He texts me. Nah, never mind. Nah, don't
He
want.
said it?
Yeah,
Really?
He was like, nah, never mind. I'm gonna do work on this instead. And I was like, oh.
That's just it's the way he is. It's That's funny.
Roll back the tapes to the Santa Claus episode.
Roll him back. Yeah.
Roll them back.
So
But I want to talk about Renaissance.
yeah, let's without further ado.
So
Oh,
how?
oh,
Please.
can I just say how I built my list?
Yeah, actually, and I never finished how I built mine.
Oh yeah, you just said you Googled it.
Yeah,
Continue.
which is kind of it.
Oh.
I Googled it. I looked at the list. I was like, this is easy.
And then you did it. I did it like I wrote down like so in the chronological order. I'm like, oh, Little Mermaid was the first one. I wrote it down. Then I'm like, oh, Rescuers Down Under is the second one. Did I like that better? And basically, I put it above or below until I had all 10 written out, and that was my list.
Interesting.
Yep.
I did not do it like that, but interesting. So how do you want to do this? You want to do 10, 10, 9, 9?
Yeah,
8-8?
I think so for sure.
Okay.
And we will do, much like our Pinocchio episode, I quite like the Pinocchio episode that we did. We'll do individual episodes again in the future. We ought to do a Little Mermaid one soon, since the new Little Mermaid's out.
Yeah, I'm hoping that stock goes up. I don't think it will, though.
I don't think the stock's going up right now.
They're saying to buy.
Well, yeah, for sure. You want to buy when it's low.
You want to buy when it's low, and let me tell you, when it skyrockets, I'll be there.
No doubt, no doubt.
So let me tell you something. Oh, no, let me ask you something.
Right.
How do we determine who goes first? A thumb war?
We could do a thumb war.
Okay.
I think it's best.
Okay, now it's
How
been
do
a
you do a
very
thumb?
long time since I've done a thumb war.
Same. You
Should
gotta
I
do like
Should I?
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb.
war?
Well, you declared it,
Oh,
so you go.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
Go.
Oh, okay. So you have to keep your wrist straight, right?
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
this is-
I don't know. I think so. Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
and there it is. There it is,
You
everybody.
got me. I knew I was gonna
Ooh.
lose that.
Ooh, let me tell you, it's been a hot minute since I've done that. Well, let me just.
Whew, that makes me want to keep going. No.
Well, let me bring up my list here. I wasn't ready, actually. Okay, let me hit you hard. Let me hit you fast with number 10.
Oh.
Number 10.
All right. So hold on. Should we list the Renaissance so people know what we're going to be saying? Like,
Let's list the Rasante.
So we got in order: The Little Mermaid, The Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan.
He's right.
I mean, I don't need to Google. Is all I'm saying.
That's all he's saying. That's John from Mouse Cheers, everybody.
All right, what's your 10?
Number 10. Coming at you hard, coming at you fast.
All right, here we go.
Pocahontas.
That's like so typical.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Nothing against Pocahontas. I'll even say this. As far as... Is Pocahontas a Disney princess?
Oh, yeah.
As far as Disney princess songs go, she has 2 amazing songs that knock it out of the park. Just Around the River Bend, Colors of the Wind.
Yeah.
I'll listen to them on repeat all day, every day.
Yeah.
That did... So let me just say there's no hate.
Okay.
At all.
It's the Renaissance. We don't hate any of these.
We don't hate any of these. It's the one I've seen the least.
Okay.
It's the one that can be easily overlooked when, if it's between this and Pocahontas, this.
Gotcha.
That's where I'm coming from with number 10.
Okay. All right. Fair. I'll say my piece on Pocahontas when it comes up in my list.
Of course.
You know? So I'll kind of let you do your thing.
Let me do my thing, and when it's your number 10, we'll talk more about it. So please.
Number 10. Tarzan.
Oh, John, no. No.
Here's the thing. Again, there's no hate here. I quite love all of these movies. Tarzan is obviously at the end of the Renaissance. It's not a typical musical in the fact that there's just songs playing, other than like Trash in the Camp and that brief You'll Be in My Heart from Kala, Tarzan's gorilla mother. The writing, I feel, gets a little bit sloppy. And I think some of the humor goes a little bit too juvenile for my taste. And those are the aspects that make it lower on the list for me.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, on a good note, it's like I love the atmosphere of the movie. Oh, another thing is I thought it was really interesting how Sabor was the kind of like the the bad guy, killed the parents, killed the gorilla child, and was kind of like this villain that didn't talk. It was just a villain, very mysterious, very scary when it showed up. And then when that villain died, and then it was just a generic human villain. While I like that villain, it almost seems like it's almost like 2 films. There's a very clear, like, that has ended, now we go here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel the writing's a little disjointed and some of the humor's a little lowbrow.
Interesting. Well, now I'm stuck in between if I talk about it now or if I wait till it comes up on my list.
If you have a response particularly to me, you can speak to it.
I think I think Sabor is a great villain. I love the idea. And I know we've talked about this before on the pod. I love the idea of having an animal that's just that, an animal that has no motive but to kill. I love that. I understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
However, the film changes with the bad guy in a very clever way, because at that time Tarzan didn't know of humans yet, and it became a different film when the humans got introduced. It's almost like you see the bad in both sides, because you get your one life living in the jungle, you get your bad animals. Then, being human, this is great. These people, what is this? This is fantastic. Oh, wait, there's bad people too. I kind of like that contrast.
I feel you. Okay, good point.
So that's all I have to say about that, and when it comes up, we'll talk more.
Okay, good point. Good point. Like I really don't have much to say to that. I think that is a good point. Okay. Number 9 for you.
Number 9, Little Mermaid. I'm sick and tired of Little Mermaid. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm just all Little Mermaided out. Let's see. What on earth? Under the sea, down here it's wetter, downwards. Take it from me. That's a good song. I like that song.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
I'm just all Little Mermaided out is all.
Did you see the live action new movie?
No. I'm only watching the stocks for that, but I don't care about the movie.
You're going to have to watch the movie for the pod.
I don't want to do that.
You have to do it for the pod.
John, I don't want to do that.
You got to do it for the pod. It was delightful.
The day our audience stops being quiet is the day I watch Little Mermaid.
Let me just ask you a question. What are the reasons that you dislike the movie, or maybe not dislike, but that it's so low on the list? Is it simply because you're all Little Mermaided out?
Yeah, that's literally it. I don't have anything else to say because I am a Little Mermaid fan.
Okay.
My problem comes from being in a community theater production of Little Mermaid. I've done it over and over again.
Yeah.
Brings you back to that time. Brings you back to the not great times during that. It brings you back. It just brings you back.
Gotcha.
And I've, going through weeks and weeks of doing the same songs and everything. It's just I'm good with it.
Gotcha.
I'm good with it. That's that.
Okay. I feel you. This is a very understanding episode. We're understanding each other.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9. Mulan.
Okay.
I think I'm a fan of the villain. I think that he's not very developed, but I'm a fan of the design of the villain. And there's a mysterious aspect to him. I like it, but it's not the strongest. And some of the songs are not the strongest for me.
Okay. I'll give you they're definitely not the strongest songs. They're not listening to the cars.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Can you listen to it in the car? They are not listened to in the car songs. Maybe Make a Man Out of You. Good old Donny Osmond in his prime. He didn't age well.
Come on. No?
No.
I don't see him nowadays.
No, he didn't age well.
No. Reflections, solid. Some of these you can listen once in a while in the car.
You don't listen to that you listen to Reflections in the car driving to work.
If it's
Who is this girl?
if it's on the Disney playlist, I will. I won't go find it or anything. But yeah, I mean once in a while. But I think just comparatively to some of the other movies, they're just not as strong. And I'll even say, I love Mulan. I think the characters in general just don't stick to me as much as a lot of the other movies.
Interesting. I disagree. Mushu is a great sidekick. I think he's a very iconic sidekick, and I won't go any further actually because I'll talk a little bit more about it later. But as far I understand where you're coming from with the villain, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I know where you're coming from because I'm thinking about the characters. I'm trying to defend them, and the only one I can actively defend is Mushu.
Yeah, and I'm it's a list of Renaissance films, so I am being nitpicky.
Of course.
So, number 8.
Number 8, Aladdin.
Wow.
Aladdin. Let me tell you why. This is a movie, for some strange reason, I've seen a lot, but only half of it. Within the past, maybe 6, 7, 8 years or so, I watched the whole thing through. One sitting. I don't know what it was. I would always start it, and then I'd be like,
really?
Either I got busy, never went back to it, or it was just on in the background. I was only half paying attention, or there was always something.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it was always that movie that was half good, almost. And I sat down, rewatched it, loved the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. But that's still in my head a little bit. It's just one of those thoughts that's hard to kick because I thought it for so long. It's almost like a I don't know. I'm trying to think of something you can relate to, but it's almost like if like you have a food that you thought you didn't like, and then you tried it and you were like, oh yeah, it was pretty good. But you don't you for some reason don't go back to that food often. You liked it, but you thought you didn't like it for so long that it's like, I'll just have this instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I feel bananas is that way. I thought that I hated bananas. Then I'm like, oh, I like bananas. And now I do have bananas quite often, but it ain't a treat. Let's get that right.
So that's
but yeah, okay. I can appreciate.
That's where I'm coming from.
I can appreciate that angle.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8. Beauty and the Beast.
Knew that one was coming.
So I think the animation leaves a little to be desired. Now, I'm not... Okay, so I don't think it's Best Picture material. I don't. Nominated, good for it. I think that there's something about the story and there's something about the movie that doesn't connect with me in a way that the others do. And that's it. It's not to be different. I mean, I'm just being honest with myself. And to be honest, at first I had the movie a little higher up. And then I'm like, no, I'm just doing that because it's Beauty and the Beast. How do you feel, John? And I had to be honest with myself, and I moved it to where it is.
Okay.
I was trying to be very honest with this list. I don't have any good reason. I think Gaston is a great villain. I don't, I guess the Beast and Belle, that whole dynamic is fine. I think the side characters are where it's at. LeFou is awesome, I think. It just doesn't connect with me. I don't have much of an explanation.
That's fair. A lot of things I've been learning recently. What I find funny isn't funny to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
What I find inspirational isn't inspirational to someone else, and so on and so on.
Right.
Scary and all these emotions and whatnot. You can't connect to it. That's fine. I can.
Yeah.
There's something about it. There's something about being the beast, if you will, but still being able to find that something,
Mm-hmm.
And it is a story that reels you in right from the beginning because it brings it back to once upon a time, a long, long time ago, or the book opening.
Yeah, that's cool that they do that again.
Yeah, so it reels you in from the beginning, and then it leaves you on the. Honestly, the opening, I can just rewatch the opening and the music. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But let me just say, I understand where you're coming from. I personally can't connect to it though.
Okay, fair.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding.
I think we're doing good today.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 7, I believe.
Number 7. Can you guess?
Mulan.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, dude.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay.
Here's this.
Yeah.
Big Hunchback fan.
Oh, yeah?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course.
Topsy-turvy.
Great scene.
A little silly. Clopin.
Yeah.
A little silly.
I don't know about that.
The Gargoyle song, A Guy Like You.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give it to you.
And the ending where Esmeralda goes is with Phoebus and Quasimodo's the friend. You know what I'm saying right now?
Yeah, Disney did some things that were different. Would never be made today.
Never be made today. And if it was made today, and it was made by me,
Quasi would have got the girl because he's all about the beauty and the beast.
nah, he would have died.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He would have died
well,
like
Little Mermaid's. The ending of that, she dies in the original story.
I don't care about Little Mermaid though.
I know.
Here's the thing.
I feel you, but if you're gonna have Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think that they did right by it while still having, it wasn't 100% of a happy ending for Quasi. Like he had to come to terms with some things.
Honestly, I think it was a sadder end.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about it. Love the movie. Great music for the most part. Judge Claude Frollo.
Right.
This guy, bad to the bone.
Yeah.
Burning down all of Paris. Sexual thoughts to in front of to gypsies and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
And instead of whatever he does to get rid of those thoughts, he leans into it, goes, if I can't have her, Paris burns.
Yeah.
Crazy guy.
Yeah.
Great movie, but worthy of number 7, I think.
All right. I respect your opinions on that. I respect your aspect, where you're coming from. Number 7 for me will be Pocahontas.
Okay, there we go. Please.
I love Pocahontas. I think it's better than Mulan. As a kind of one of the newer Disney princess movies that are not fairy tales. I think that the characters are more memorable. I think, yes, the movie's a little lacking only because I think they took out the heart of it when they took out If I Never Knew You, which is one of my 3 moments in film. I think 4
that was
now.
a big mistake.
I think 4 now when I think of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
That movie had a lot of problems, though, so I don't know how you can just pick one.
What do you mean? No. Remember how I said there were 3 things that still make me mad to this day, movie-wise?
Yeah.
First one being the ending of Sleepy Hollow, the movie. The second one being Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Because it should have been good.
Right.
Should have been amazing, and it was so disappointing. Third one was the fact that they took that song out of Pocahontas. And now the fourth is the fact that Doctor Strange 2 should have been amazing.
Oh.
And it was not.
I'm not surprised it wasn't. All of Phase 4. Phase 4?
Phase 4.
All of Phase 4 has sucked.
Not true, but we can totally get into that. We're overdue for another MCU talk anyway. But, all right. So, Pocahontas. I think the songs are great. I think the villain... a lot of people dog on the villain. I think he's a great design, and I like the villain quite a lot. Same voice actor. We got Governor Ratcliffe and Wiggins
Wiggins.
Same voice. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Same guy voiced both of them. He was the voice of Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast.
Ah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Lots of fun.
Yeah. I think that I love the fact that, there's so much love in that, like that Mind Me That Gold song is in Fantasmic at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World.
Yes, lots of fun. Lots of fun.
I think it's a very well balanced movie, and I think that, people dog on it historically, and to that I say, I mean, this is Disney's Pocahontas. Disney's going to Disney.
Disney's going to Disney,
Yeah.
and that's we can say that about so many of the Disney movies. But at the end of the day, Disney's going to Disney.
No doubt, no doubt.
No doubt. Let me hit you with number 6,
Hit it.
Lion King. This is coming from a place, literally, of maybe it's the one I feel people are like, oh, the Lion King. It's like, yeah, but
It was my favorite for years.
yeah, I just don't. Great movie. I get it. I do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't connect with me. It is a fun watch.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more.
Okay.
But number 6 on the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's high.
Let's start giving these movies what it is. We're coming down to the top 5s.
Yeah, for sure. I will say that Lion King, probably in the way Beauty and the Beast connects with you, Lion King does connect with me. I do think there are flaws. I will get to that, though. What do you got? Anything for Lion King?
No.
Anything else? Or?
No, that's about it, honestly.
I'll be bringing it up pretty soon.
Yeah.
But 6 for me is Hercules.
Ah, that hurt.
Sorry. Hey, it's not lower.
Of course.
I love Hercules.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. I was like, I was scared when I saw it in theaters.
You should be. It's a scary movie.
Dude, when Hades first came on,
It's terrifying.
like he's like the devil, pretty much.
He is the devil. He's the devil.
Yeah. When Hades came on, I was young. I got like spooked, and then like when they're saying he ran the underworld and then like showed the underworld, I'm like, ugh. And then freaking Cerberus comes up, I'm like, I want to leave the theater. Like I thought about leaving, but then I stayed, and then I was happy I stayed because it got less scary. But
yeah,
I started off kind of spooked.
of course.
I don't know. So, and that was also coming off of Hunchback, who came out the year before, which had a lot of like more thematic elements that could be a little scary. So I think that I might have been expecting a little more scary, so I kind of came in a little scared, as a young kid. But I quite love it. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think that I don't think that every song is a home run in the movie. And I mean, there's not too much complaining here going on. I think it's an awesome movie. I would watch it anytime. I wish my son was into that right now. We'd watch that on loop. But I don't really have anything to say about it. I just think that, the other 5 are better than it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold comments, judgments, not the time.
Okay. All right. Why don't you go into your number 5?
Number 5. This is the big number 5, people. This is
Mhm.
big news. Mulan.
The big number 5.
The big number 5.
All right. Say your piece on Mulan.
I love Mulan.
So do I.
I do. There's something about one. I love it when Disney, despite everything I've said about Encanto, I love it when Disney dives deeply into a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I hate on Encanto, it has nothing to do with the culture. It has to do with the movie. and I don't like. We don't talk about Bruno. Has nothing to do with the culture, though. I actually love it when Disney dives deep into a culture.
Okay.
I love that when it comes down to it, like because obviously they write music that's geared more towards what you would hear if you were in China. Again, this is like an Americanized version of China, but still the
they
effort
use
was
instruments and stuff like that.
Yeah. The effort was
yeah.
put into make it. I hate to use the word authentic, but more authentic than not.
Yeah.
And I love it when Disney does that. I love that when movies do that. I love the idea of being in the time where a woman would literally be murdered for certain actions, and this is beyond, in a time, in a culture where if you do one thing wrong, you're dishonored for life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is beyond that now. Now you're dishonored and you're murdered because this is just such bad juju right now.
Impersonating a soldier. Yeah.
This is impersonating a soldier by a woman. That's a two. We got two problems here. Okay. She holds her own. It's a great what's the word I'm thinking of? It's a good encouraging story. It's a feel good story. It is now the music itself. Is it listened to in the car music? No. But does it go along with the story nicely? Yes. Especially because let me also say this. A Girl Worth Fighting For. Thoughts on the song?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's fine. No better, no worse. I like that it's just fine, though, because this is a war marching song. You hear this with the Marines, with the Army when they're marching. You'll hear these marching songs, if you will. I feel like it was very much a marching song. It's not gonna win the Tonys. Right. It's not gonna win the Emmys. It's not gonna win whatever awards. But it fits in perfectly with what they're doing. It fits in perfectly with the moment of the scene. They're marching. What do they talk about when they're marching? Those girls they miss back at home.
Yeah.
All right, let's make a marching song.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, I feel you. It made sense to have a song like that. And I like it. It's fine. It's good.
And Mushu is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
I'm a big Mulan fan.
Good. Do you like the villain?
He's fine. I think I respect where you come from with the villain. Forgettable.
Yeah. Cool design though.
Cool
mysterious.
design, not developed enough.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'll also say this: I wouldn't change anything in the movie. Like if they added a scene to develop the villain more, I'd be like, you know. So it's tough. It's tough.
Fair enough. Okay, I respect all that. So number 5 here, The Lion King. So I told you
I'm actually surprised it was it's 5.
It's 5. It used to be my favorite of all time.
I was expecting number 3, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, you got Circle of Life, which we brought up on great moments in animation, and it is a great opening for the film. And then it stays pretty consistently great until the Stampede. Then when Timon and Pumbaa enter in, it gets slightly juvenile and it gets a little bit silly, and it's okay. Nothing gets too bad, but I think that it loses itself a little. I think the movie starts great in like the first 25 minutes are excellent. Then the next 25 minutes or so are good. And then it ends great as well. That's what I think.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Like Rafiki, I think there's powerful stuff in it. I do connect to it because, like, when Mufasa comes back, whoever voices Rafiki is freaking great. They go for it. Like, there's no, when Simba, after he talks to Mufasa in the cloud, he's like, "I'm going back," and he's like, "Get out of here!" And he like laughs and he's like, "Woo!" He just goes for it. And there's no, I don't know, that character brings emotion that strikes you, I feel.
There's such a real it's such a real thing when it comes to having a good voice actor.
Yeah.
A lot of people can miss that, especially if you're not a movie person. These are the type of people that watch Despicable Me and say that's their favorite Disney movie. Those are these people, okay?
Yeah.
These are the people that don't understand, like, what do you mean voice acting? It's an animated thing, it's people talk, it's no different.
Well, a lot of these, like, Illuminations, a lot of these things just get, like, the biggest name, and they're basically just themselves. Now, does Disney do that for some characters? Yes. Like Maui, that's Dwayne Johnson and all that stuff. But I don't think that's their number one priority. I just don't. I think that they do a pretty good job.
They do a pretty good job, and when it comes down to it, because I've seen a handful of other animated movies, not Disney, and when it comes down to it, I think Disney holds the number one spot when it comes to voice actors.
No, agreed.
And I don't think it's because they just know who to hire, because I don't buy into that. No. I think it's the people behind the project that say, "Hey, listen, this is how you gotta do it."
Yeah.
It's very, very similar to. This is not a Disney reference, but Tom Cruise gave a very different performance than all of his other movies in Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, because Stanley Kubrick was really meticulous with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it showed.
Yeah.
And
I want to watch that movie.
It paid off.
Yeah, it did. That movie is a masterpiece.
It's
one of my top 5.
It's my number 2
of all time.
Number 2 of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's these people behind the projects, they're to thank.
Yeah.
And honestly, we can do a whole podcast just on great moments in voice animation.
Yeah.
Because it goes that detailed to me, that in-depth to me.
For sure.
Now, will it be fun for the people who don't understand? Probably not.
It's fine.
But y'all quiet anyway in the comments.
We do it for the haters. Cheers. So you're on number 4 now.
Oh. Hold up. My phone. Okay. Number 4, Tarzan.
Wow, high up for you.
So I rewatched it recently.
Yeah, okay.
And I liked it more than I thought I originally did.
Okay.
A couple things.
Yeah.
One, the animation absolutely blew me away. The jungle scenery.
Yeah.
And this isn't mere one layer of trees. This is meticulous. This is a full jungle, the vines and all the works.
Yeah.
If you look at trees, the bark is coming off. This was someone put the amount of thought that went into one tree, John.
Yeah.
That went into one tree, let alone the entire setting. That went into one tree.
It's a very impressive animation.
You will see that in Tarzan. I love that it's not a musical.
Mm-hmm.
I think it shows that Disney doesn't need that crutch. A lot of people, musicals are big for a reason. I'm a musical guy myself. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need that crutch, though, and they proved it. Okay?
Yeah.
What's
your favorite song from Tarzan?
Strangers Like Me.
Obviously.
Because what a scene.
Sorry, I asked.
Let me tell you, the scene, in particular, And I hate Phil Collins as much as the next guy.
Okay.
But I do have to say he outdid himself in
Yeah,
this
I
movie.
agree.
That scene in particular is so powerful
Mm-hmm.
because you're seeing a human learn. And this isn't you're learning 2 + 2 = 4.
Mm.
This is you're learning that your life hasn't been what you or has been a lie almost.
Mm.
Not in necessarily a sad way, but an emotional way.
Yeah.
What could possibly be in store for me next?
Right.
This is so new. This is exciting. This is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm experiencing it with this beautiful girl.
Yeah.
What a scene that is. And then we talked a little bit about the villains. So I won't go, since we were already covered on that, I won't talk about that too much.
Yeah.
But I loved that Sabor was just an animal.
Yeah.
I loved that. And then, the transition from the first half was him just as an animal. The second half was just him as a human.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was I think it's there's something to be said in the ending where do you meet in the middle? You got these two people that need to be together, but they're from two different worlds. Do you know how hard of a choice that has to be? Who goes where?
Mm-hmm.
Who goes with who?
Should have been Tarzan going with her.
It should have been Tarzan going with her.
I love the ending. I love the way that ended. And I love that the dad stayed too.
Archimedes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I will tell you, Will, obviously this is a top ranking list. We will do full podcasts on all these movies. So, there's just so much to say, and I want to, you know what I mean?
When we do
and I don't want to feel bad about not saying everything, but we will, because we will.
When we do the actual individual movies,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take notes and we're gonna break it down scene by scene.
Nice. Okay.
Is what we're gonna
Like really prep it and
Yeah.
go. See, some episodes need more prep. I think Pinocchio, we were kind of just winging it, and I like Pinocchio episode. I want to keep doing more like that. But if we structure it better, I think it'll be good. So
Yeah.
we're in our top 3 here. No.
No, because you need to do 4, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do 4. My number 4 is Aladdin.
Oh.
Yeah, I like it a little more than Lion King. I think I love the whole Arabian Nights story and the genie. I think I just like that story better, and I love Whole New World. I love the music. I love Aladdin. I love the main characters. I love Aladdin and Jasmine. The genie, wins you over.
And
Boo's cool.
Of course, and that's another one.
And Iago and Jafar. Come on.
Both hilarious characters. And that's another one that dives deep into Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Dives deep into another culture. I'm big on that.
Yeah. Exactly. So really good. I think that maybe the writing got a little bit off. I know that we meant to, obviously, there's somebody at the beginning telling a story, and then we never see him again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The writers originally meant for him to show up at the end, and it was the genie the whole time who had morphed into a man, and then he's like, I'm the genie, made you look. He says made you look at the end. It's it turned out. I think the writing. I think they ran out of time, and they weren't able to do exactly what they wanted to do. Otherwise, pretty perfect movie in my opinion.
Interesting.
Indeed.
Actually, never even
questioned it.
I never even questioned
As
it.
a narrator, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
So
funny guy.
Indeed. So, voiced by Robin Williams.
That's you know what that Arabian Nights is what it's called. That opening song, those lyrics are great lyrics.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever stopped to think about what was being said, but we should do top Disney lyrics.
I'm down.
Because
I'm down for it all.
Because to break down I won't break it down because I kind of want to do that episode actually.
Yeah.
But I really like the lyrics in that song.
I'm down to do an excellent lyric podcast.
Yeah, because I have a lot to say about that actually.
Okay.
Um,
We are in the top 3.
the top 3, and I never saw. Well, I'm not gonna say I never saw, but we haven't had a similar one yet. We have.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're right. This is very different. You called it.
Number 3, Beauty and the Beast. Now, I
feel
love.
we're going to have one. Same.
We both know what number 2 is.
Yeah.
We both know what number 2 is. I love Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I do. I think it starts great. I connect with it very well. I was actually I'm one of the people that thinks it should have won Best Picture. For the time, it was such a big deal to have an animated movie be nominated for an award, let alone Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
This is what started the idea of animated movies being actually good movies, right? This is why at the Oscars now you have Best Animated Movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what started it all, okay? And there's a reason for that. Now, I understand that it is the big one. Everyone's like, Beauty and the Beast is so great. I got that. But isn't it said for a reason?
Yeah, I mean, if it's right, it's right, no matter how many people say it or how little say it. So I feel you. Again, I'm not doing this to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of things that I truly love. And it's like such a cliche to love it, but I'm like, no, there's a reason that it's loved. And so I'm a very, I really don't try to be different. I had to be honest with myself, but I totally get how you feel.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I had more to say earlier, but I don't remember now.
Save it for the pod, for the individual movie pod.
We'll save it for the pod.
Yeah. So it's an interesting one because your number, what was Little Mermaid on your list?
Number 9.
Okay, okay. So Little Mermaid is my third. I think it's very well crafted. I think it's the superior movie to Beauty and the Beast. I think that Sebastian is a better side character than like a Lumiere, in my opinion. I think that Ursula is a better villain than Gaston. I think that Ariel is more interesting than Belle. I think that the underwater, the story is more like fairy tale-y and more fantastical. I think the music is actually superior in Little Mermaid to Beauty and the Beast. So, again, I don't hate Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast, but I feel that Little Mermaid really kicks it. It started the Renaissance, and it saved the company, really. So,
yeah,
and that's not a reason to like anything, but I think it's genuinely captivating and really good.
Oh, well, there we go.
All right,
there we go. You going to see the live action?
I saw it. It's delightful.
Oh.
It's very good, actually.
You saw it in theaters?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for supporting.
No doubt.
Interesting.
Trying to make that stock go up for Andrew. Let's talk about our number 2.
I think we have the same one. Rescuers Down Under.
Rescuers Down Under. Now, I think I can speak for both of us when I say the only reason it's not number 1 is because there are thematic elements in the movies that are our favorite that make the movie that are number 1 our number 1. Am I wrong? Because I think Rescuers Down Under, so my number 1, for instance, I can say that it's not a perfect movie. I think Rescuers Down Under is a perfect movie. So at least on my perspective, the only reason it's not my number 1 is because I like the story of my number 1 better. in the thematic elements.
I know where you're coming from. I can't really relate to that.
No?
though.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you legit think your number one is a more perfect movie than Rescuers Down Under.
I do, but there was no question Rescuers Down Under was number 2
yeah.
because let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning.
Seriously.
This is an opening that I'd put up against most movies. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it starts with such great animation, and you're just introduced to this random kid.
Cody.
You're along for the ride, though. Let's do it. Oh, Cody talks to animals. He saves animals. Let's do it.
Yeah.
He rides a giant golden eagle.
Yeah.
That animation, that scene, that music.
One of the best. Oh, like
You get instant feels. The movie just started, John.
yeah. Yeah.
The movie just started.
Yeah. You haven't even seen Bernard and Bianca at this point.
Bernard and Bianca, a favorite from the Rescuers.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Rescuers too. Great characters there. Loved to see them again.
Yeah. John Candy as Wilbur.
John Candy as Wilbur.
I'm so glad he used a voice in a Disney movie.
Me too. I take Wilbur over Orville any day.
Any day.
Any day. The Mouse Doctor. Very funny. I think his name is Bernard too.
So weird.
This guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's what I strive to be in life.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's talk about McLeach.
Dude, McLeach is awesome.
Let's talk about McLeach.
Such a bad villain.
What a bad villain. This guy hunts animals, and when Cody got in his way, he stole him too.
Yeah. He was gonna let him run along at the very beginning. But then Cody called him out for being a poacher, and he kidnapped Cody. And then he's like, well, tell me where the eagle is or whatever the heck. And he's like, all right, well, and he threw his backpack in the crocodiles, to the crocodiles, and his mother thought that he had gotten eaten. So that was like a done deal. And then at the end, he's like, I wouldn't want to disappoint the Rangers. And he actually goes to feed Cody to the crocodiles. And, and we didn't bring up, I think his name is Jake. What's the Italian, Australian?
Yeah, Jake.
Jake. He's cool.
Yeah, he's a funny
yeah.
guy.
I think they do the I'm trying to propose, but it's not working thing better than Frozen 2 did it.
Worlds better. It made no sense when they did it in Frozen 2. It felt out of place.
It was
honestly.
a forced gag.
It was a forced gag. This was Bianca and Bernard already had a history.
Yeah.
This was a long time coming. This felt right, and then they're on one last mission. Bernard's been trying to propose. He tried to propose before they knew about this mission.
Yeah.
They got called away for an urgent meeting.
Yeah.
Okay? Now this guy, this Jake guy with the cowboy hat riding snakes through the swamp.
Yeah, right.
Cool guy.
But at the same time, he's still a good guy. And it's a thing that comes almost between Bianca and Bernard, but Bernard also learns from him, and that's how Bernard is able to rescue them when they get caught in the cage by showing that hog who was boss, and he rode the hog to the truck. What animators were like? All right, the villain's gonna have an animal sidekick. What should we name it? How about Joanna? That's so funny.
That's so funny. Joanna is one of my absolute favorite side characters, alongside Archimedes, alongside
Iago,
alongside the best of them, John. The best of them.
I agree with you.
Joanna doesn't talk. Joanna doesn't talk. Joanna is just a lizard.
But it's like
just an animal.
She's a bad lizard, though.
She's
evil.
She's
too.
an evil, dim-witted. She's that evil, dim-witted sidekick.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
It's very funny.
It's so funny. And even when it comes down to their relationship, yeah, they are, man animal sidekick, if you will. But they don't get along too. Like it's I don't know. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It is perfect.
I love it. I love the movie.
Yeah.
I honestly don't have a bad thing to say about it.
Neither do I.
I couldn't even say I like this, but like it could.
No,
I can't.
Yeah, me either. And we're on the same page.
I can just pop it on.
Wow.
Anytime.
Look at that. Different lists, but we met together on the number 2. All right, let's bring it home with our number 1s. We know what each other's number 1s are.
All right. So how do you want to do this then? Did you want to just break down each one?
Well, I think, we obviously the opposite person talked about him earlier in the list. So why don't you say your piece and I'll say my piece.
All right. So my number 1 is Hercules.
And this should be no surprise. For people listening, this should be no surprise.
This should be no surprise. I talk about it all the time on the podcast. Hercules is not only my favorite Disney movie, it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Wow.
This is a movie that I can relate to. This is a movie that inspires me. This is a movie that leaves me in awe. Mm-hmm. This is a movie I could watch over and over again. I even said one time, I verbally said this, if I had to watch one movie every day for the rest of my life, it would be Hercules.
Wow.
I love it that much. And it's a Disney movie. It's an hour and a half, if that. It's quick, just pop. Even in the days you don't want to watch it, it's a quick watch. Mm-hmm. It's just that would be the movie. The animation style is something that they blew me away with. Never done before, haven't done since. I absolutely loved the whole diving into the Greece culture. Mm-hmm. Back in the historical times, where
Greek
Hercules,
mythology,
Greek mythology, Hercules is a baby at this point,
yeah.
right? This is all after Achilles and all this. This had already happened.
Yeah.
So now there is a need for a true hero, but there is a thing of the past now because Achilles was the true hero, and he even got defeated.
Mm-hmm.
So heroes are now a thing of the past.
Right.
Okay? But here comes Hercules. What a great start to a movie to take a god,
mm-hmm.
turn him mortal, but there was one drop left.
Yeah, that was good.
There was one drop left, and what did that drop do? He was mortal, yes. Couldn't go to Mount Olympus, yes. But he had godlike strength.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine what that must have been like growing up. Imagine that. He thinks he's a regular kid. He has no knowledge of him being a god, but he has these strengths. He can lift up his house to get a... It shows lifting up the house to get a ball underneath.
How'd the ball get there?
You got to ask these questions. Meanwhile, you empathize. He grows up.
Mm.
Who am I? I think everybody asks themselves that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in this world has asked themselves that at least once in their life. Mm-hmm. Who am I? Mm-hmm. Something everybody can relate to. Oh, I'm a god. Oh, I'm a god. Okay, I have to be a true hero. Okay, becomes a true hero, John. The fame, it's done nothing. Wait, I'm the most famous person in all Greece. I'm sorry, that's not it. That's not it.
That's not the point.
It's it has nothing to do with all of your strength. It has nothing to do with all the bad guys you fought. Which, by the way, that scene in the middle of the movie where he's fighting that giant lizard dragon monster thing,
the Hydra.
Thank you. Yeah. What an animated scene.
Oh, yeah.
What an animated scene.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Oh, my God. I can watch it over and over again. And then it's the perfect setup to Zero to Hero. You just won. Everyone's going crazy. And then Zero to Hero is a bop. Perfect segue into that.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with all your strength, John. It has to do with the strength of your heart. What a powerful message,
Yeah, it's
John.
excellent.
What a powerful message. And when it comes down to it, there's no movie that I think will ever top it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because the longer I love it, the more
And the more cemented it becomes, and
and it's pure nostalgia. It's pure Disney to me.
Yeah, but you're loving something from the get, and loving it to a point where it now becomes nostalgic.
Yeah.
For me, Hunchback of Notre Dame is my number one, and the reason being is I'm a very spiritual person, and I love the the fact that it takes place in this big cathedral, the bells. It's very very epic in scale. The music cries out epicness. It's a huge story. It's also a novel. The writer of Les Miserables,
Victor Hugo was a hell of an author.
which are called as two of the gargoyles, Victor and Hugo. Crazy stuff. Obviously, the story's darker than what the Disney movie goes. The gargoyles, I'll agree. You can have the gargoyles. Yes, I think that it gets juvenile. I think that it gets too silly. A Guy Like You, it's an okay song, but I could really leave it, and they did leave it in the musical version, which I think is actually superior. I think that's my favorite version of Hunchback of Notre Dame, is that musical that has all the Disney songs, and they did make it darker. And in fact, in the musical, they have the ending of the book.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away from the Disney movie. I think that the character designs are great. The characters are great. The songs are top notch. Maybe minus Guy Like You. And I think the opening, the first 5 minutes of the movie, are fantastic. I think you called Clopin silly and Feast of Fools. I don't think so. That was a real thing that happened, and I think Disney-wise, they could have gone a lot sillier with it. I think they kept it a little silly, but not roll your eyes silly. That's my opinion. And then you see some darker parts of Clopin later on. When he's in the Court of Miracles and stuff. I don't know, they're just dealing with a lot of adult themes in this movie. Lust, like you said, with Judge Claude Frollo. Hellfire. Demons show up. People are about to get hanged. People are about to get burned at the stake. Sanctuary, locked in a church. People thinking they're holy, but their motives are actually quite evil, but they're justifying it by being holy. Themes that you don't see, and you won't see again, and that's why I think nothing will beat the movie for me. Also, going forward, so I think that not a perfect movie, but it needs to be my number one because it. But be honest with myself, it is my number one. Is it one that I could watch? It's a very different number one than you, because I don't know that I'm I can watch that every day, but I just appreciate it so much, and it hits home with me. And it hits some real powerful notes, So the stuff that is not perfect in the movie is way outweighed by the stuff that hits,
Of course.
So that's my say.
Hey, I respect that list. And when it comes down to it, I would take any movie from the Renaissance, anytime, any place. This, even the number 10, there is no hate at all.
Agreed.
This was us making a list for the ha-has.
Yeah.
And we had to put something in said places.
Tarzan's my number 10, but while you were talking about Tarzan, I'm yeah, I love that movie.
No, exactly.
So, yeah.
So, but great list, John.
You as well.
Honestly, great list.
Good stuff.
But you know what I'll say to your list, John?
What's that?
I'll cheers to that.
Cheers to it. As will I.
I'm out.
I'm not.
Cheers.